let's go on to the Bad Batch season 3. So I think that will be good. I think the Bad Batch season 2. Um, I mean, parts of it pretty good, parts
Yeah.
of it a little bit filler. I think the character development in the Bad Batch season 2 was pretty top notch when it actually focused on the character development. I think season 1 was far superior. I think most people would
Yeah,
agree.
I agree.
But
It
season 2 left us with a pretty good cliffhanger,
it
a
did.
lot of emotional buy-in as far as the last couple episodes of this season. I'm thinking this season's going to be pretty dark. I'm not sure how they're going to end it. I could see it going one of two ways. Either they all die, kind of like Rogue One,
Yeah.
or maybe they all just kind of disappear somewhere. We got new galaxies now. I don't know.
Yeah, into that Star Wars lore where these characters go when they disappear. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think season 2 it was not as good as season 1, but I think it benefited from the fact they built such good characters in season 1,
Yep.
right? You get introduced to them a little bit in the Clone Wars in that arc with Echo, and then season 1 was good. It was really kind of exploring them and the clone orders, and they kind of had the breaking with Crosshair. But then season 2 was really just kind of them on the run. And I do think season 3, it's supposed to be the last season. I think it's at a good wrap up point. Like looking back on season 2, I think they paced it well because it did end on a pretty emotional note moving into season 3 where things are going to wrap up. And there's some big questions, right, that need to be answered. Um, which the thing I'm most intrigued about is like what happens to the clones, right? Because that's kind of been at the center of season 2,
Yeah.
really, was trying to get rid of the clones, trying to
Phasing
push
them
them
out.
out, trying to
Yeah.
raise a different army. So I'm really hoping they finalize that question of what does the Republic do with the clones? How does this whole thing close out? Because that, to me, that's been the most interesting part of it, is that political behind the scenes stuff involving the clones and the treatment of the clones. It's been the highlight of the show for me. So as long as that gets answered, I'll be happy.
That's kind of a deep like social dive too, as far as what they're doing. They're exploring like a pretty
Yeah,
deep topic for an animated series.
yeah,
And
seriously.
I think I don't get into Clone Wars as much. I know a lot of people do, and there's some arcs that are super good, like that I just really love. But I think for whatever reason I get drawn more into the Bad Batch because there is a little bit more of that entertainment that might appeal to, someone
Yeah,
that's not a kid, right? Like it's some real world scenarios. And it's pretty interesting. I agree with what you said. Like season 1 built up all those characters, so season 2 could
yeah.
kind of explore itself a little bit. And I'm really interested in what they're gonna kind of tie together with that ending where Omega's the clone, but then there's the other as well, right?
Yeah, now there's
Like there were
another.
two.
Yeah, she says she's her sister or whatever. Now there's two of them.
Right. And they're very interested in her. Are they going to try to do
Yeah.
like some Palpatine cleanup here as well, cuz that's like the whole purpose of all these shows is cleaning up the sequels. So are
Wasn't there some sort of Palpatine connection in the show in season 2 where they were investigating like a cloning facility or something?
Yeah, I'm sure there was. I
Seems like
had
there
I never
was.
rewatched season 2,
Can't
but I
remember.
remember the end of it everyone was like, "Oh, it's connecting to the sequels or whatever." So it's going to
Yeah.
play a role in the big picture, which is good. Um I just don't know. I don't know. I hopefully they do less of those little side plot things like where they did the race on that one episode and things
Yeah.
like that. I didn't care as much
I'll,
for that.
I'll be happy if there's just no more Sid. I'm tired of Sid.
Yeah, she's the one that drives me nuts.
Worse. Yeah.
So Tony
As
says they
little screen time
saw
as possible.
yes, but kill her off. I don't know, but Tony saw the season 3 trailer at Celebration. Dark and gloomy. A lot won't make it out. That's I think all of
Yeah.
like
It
watching all
feels like it's
Tony's
heading
stuff
that
is
direction.
probably yeah. This is probably where I gathered this information from, and I'm okay with that. Rogue One went well when it went
Yeah.
dark, and so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, this story arc of the Bad Batch, they've always been kind of on the ropes. It's never felt like a story that
Yeah.
had a real happy ending, especially in season 2. And so, unless something happens, pull out a miracle, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of options going forward. So, hopefully it closes out. It's a good ending is all we can ask for.
Do you think Tech really died?
Yes. I think that's too much to end an episode on with a cliffhanger, too much of an emotional note to then go into the next season and be like, just kidding. Like if it was earlier in the season, I could see him popping back up possibly, but like to end on that note and to kind of finish out the season that way, I feel like it's got to be a done deal. I don't know.
I hope it stays a done deal because to
I think
me
so too.
that was like the redeeming quality of this or season 2 is it was so heavy when and
Yeah,
they kind of built his character up too. They had a bigger focus on him and it was
it
almost
was.
like they
Yeah.
were telegraphing what was going to happen. And so I kind of
Yeah.
hope they stay true to that. Some people think he's going to be okay like he landed, in the snow soft or something like that. I don't know.
It was
I
very
hope
soft snow.
yeah,
Very
I hope
soft.
he doesn't make it out. I like
Yeah.
how they
I
have it.
think it should
So
stay for sure.
anything else on Bad Batch season 3?
Um, Not really. I mean, it's probably the one I'm least looking forward to, but not because I don't like it. I mean, it's a fun show and I've really enjoyed it. I think for some reason I'm more invested in the regular clones than I have been the Bad Batch. I don't know why. Like anytime they pop back up in the show, like I resume my interest, and so it's a good show. I like it, but it's not at the top of the list of the seasons next year that I'm most looking forward to. So we'll see. It'll be good. I don't have any concerns that it'll be like really bad.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I'm excited about it just because it's fun to have Star Wars every week, and there's a
Yeah.
ton of episodes in these, so there's not like a lack of something to talk about. But if I'm ranking it amongst these four, it's probably number 4 for me as well.
Yeah.